Alright guys, so to get started with the EBA portion of the breakdown, the first time I did this it got deleted, or not deleted, but it went to Twitch, so I'm just re-recording it, and you'll see I've got with me throughout the show, I have the Truth JGW, who's the VPLO of the league. I've got the Realist, who is a GM for the Timberwolves. I've got King Mizark, who is a player for the Lakers, I do believe. I've got Ice the Man and JT from the Clippers, as well as myself. So before we get started, before we get into everything, I just wanted to kind of address a few things, kind of fill the league in on your thought processes behind things. And, the one thing that you'll see on our website that is different from what you may have been used to on some other sites is that we do not do restarts or canceling of a season. Not only does it just look bad on the league in general, but if a team's struggling, they should blacklist. We'll replace players. If we run out of players and it comes down to it and we have to do it, like what we did this season, we'll disband a team. It's not necessarily what we want to do. It's not that we're trying to do that, but it does work out better for the league in general. We don't just disband teams to disband them. We do it once we run out of players. So that kind of describes that a little bit. A little bit of what we deal with is self-imposed. And what I mean by that is, sometimes these players or these owners will not blacklist someone because they're their buddy or whatever. And, I get it. I understand that. A lot of people aren't out here to just be douchebags and make enemies. Most of the time people are out here to have fun, be laid back and whatnot. But, sometimes you have to blacklist someone who's just not playing. And that's kind of what the situation that you run into is. We don't blacklist them, and then someone ends up paying for it down the road. And that's kind of what I feel we've run into this season. And we'll get into it a little bit more and let these people talk about it that are in the party here later. But that's one of the biggest issues that I see. Another thing I wanted to address, and this isn't to call you out, Zabriel, but it's just in regards to I guess a statement or question that he made. When I was talking about crybabies, and just to kind of address Zabriel and kind of further explain what I meant. There's a huge difference between my definition of a crybaby and someone who's giving constructive criticism. The statement was, are they being crybabies or are they giving constructive criticism? Two polar opposites. Someone who gives constructive criticism, they explain the problems they're having, that they talk it out, or try to provide solutions, whatever, to kind of make things better. Whereas when I'm saying that someone's being a crybaby, that's somebody that's just bitching and moaning to bitch and moan because they're not getting their way or things aren't going the way that they want them to go. There's a huge difference to me. I'm fine if you're not happy with whatever ruling was made, or if you're not happy with the way a certain thing went down. Come to me and talk to me about it. Because if you're coming to me and explaining to me why you feel it's wrong, as opposed to just making accusations, that's the difference between constructive criticism and being a crybaby. So, with that said, we'll move on into talking about the this season and why they feel maybe with why you feel the seasons went the way that it has in some cases. Why you feel that things have kind of went the way they did, and we can get some of that on the table now and chit chat about it. So I'll start with JT and we'll work our way down the board there. So what do you think, JT?
I feel like to start off, the biggest thing was starting the day after the fourth. Like I know there was a couple owners in the chat who was talking about like people were on vacation and things of that sort, and that's true. Like with TC, that's why I took 3 forfeits in the first week, because once the weekend came around, like 4 of my TCs hit me up like, oh, I'm back, I can play now,
Right.
things of that sort. And also feel like it's, certain teams didn't come out like people wanted them to. And that's when my suggestion to get undrafted players came in, but it was shot down. I don't really care. But I think that would have helped the league, and also like made trades like it would have been much less of them, because it's like it wasn't like a superstar was left out or something, but it could have been a decent role player that made a solid team better, that could have just made teams better and made other teams stay. But I think the first week it just really impacted the whole league in a really bad way, with forfeits just everywhere, and it got owners' confidence just all the way down, and they never got back up.
Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. Also, I actually brought up the question that should we push it back, or should we go ahead and start and just start it after the fourth or whatever. And pretty much with the exception, I think it was 2 owners that voted to push it back, which were, I think, Beastie and Zabriel, if I'm not mistaken, that I saw. I mean, there may have been more, but those are the only 2 that I saw that actually were vocal about pushing it back. But I mean, I agree that could have very well had a big effect on it. What about you, Ice?
Yeah, for me, I mean, there's a couple. I've been around for a very long time, in and out of these leagues on different websites, and usually the 4th season's always the hardest anyway, or any 4 seasons in the same 2K. People are tired. They're waiting for the new one to come out. The season's over with the NBA, so I mean, you kind of got this I'm tired of playing it type of mentality, and a lot of these guys that play in these leagues are playing multiple sites. I mean, you can talk to JT. You're in 2 or 3 different sites, and a few of other guys are in 3 or 4 different sites, and they just get tired. And you got something like EBA that's fun to you got something that's fun to play and it's competitive. But you just kind of like, man, I'm just burnt out. I think that has something to do with it. I think a lot has to do with the summer too. Timing is always bad. When the summer hits, you got a lot of these kids that are getting out of school or college is over, and they'd rather go to the beach than be here for a 9 o'clock game. They won't trying to hurry back from the beach to get here. Well, I'm just saying that commitment's a lot harder in the summer. You got your boy that wants to hang out with you, and shoot ball late. You ain't trying to hurry up and get back home. So, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it, commitment in the last season. But I think people are getting confused of what the league's about as well. With a lot of new blood that we have rolling through. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys I've never even seen before in this 4th season, which is good. I mean, I like to see new blood. That's how we grow and get bigger. But I think they're confused on how it's supposed to work, how the EBA is supposed to work. And there's something broke, and we need to figure it out, I think, on a higher level of how to fix it. But I can't say that this season's what's broke. There's just something that's not clicking right, whether we're not advertising it correctly or whether we're not clear on exactly how the league's supposed to be set up, not as a game battles buddy, I get my line, you get your line, although it's getting very clicky like that. And I hope 17 shakes that up for us. But talking with some of the guys that left this season and didn't want to play, that was some of the things they were just like, man, this isn't what I wanted it to be. So I mean, that could be a little bit as well, but those 3 things mainly, I think it's the time of season, and it just being it being the 4th season on this 2K. I'll be honest, I'm a little tired of this 2K as well. I'm ready for the next one to come out. I was overplaying live because I was just frustrated with some of the that even frustrates you more because that game's garbage. But you just want something else. So that I think has a lot to do with it.
Okay. Yeah, no, those are, great points. Mizark, what about you, man? Oh, my Lord. Leone.
I kind of agree with what whoever just spoke said.
Yeah, Ice.
I don't know his name, I'm sorry. I feel like it is coming towards the end of 2K, but I also agree with the point of, like, the clicks that people have, and they're a little too comfortable. I mean, I've been in a lot of, like, sim-like leagues, and I thought this would be one of them as well. So I understand the concept, but I mean, I can see why some people want to play with their friends. I mean, obviously, I want to play with my friends too. But I do see the point where, 2K is coming towards an end and, people are losing interest. But also, I mean, the All-Star team up really brought a different, look to the league. Like, no money league or no other league has done that so far. So, I mean, I thought that would spark some interest, I mean, which it did for me. But I think it's ridiculous people wanted to cancel the season because, I mean, a lot of people didn't draft right at the end of the day. I mean, I made a post when after the draft came out, and some people had zero spacing on the court. So, I mean, how do you expect to win if people are just going to clog the paint on you? I mean, it's getting pretty late into the year, so I thought people would know that. But, I mean, obviously, it's still like they still had no clue what spacing was.
It's a different dynamic.
That's pretty much it.
Some people just weren't prepared enough for it, I don't think. So yeah, I mean, it's another.
Yeah, I agree.
Young shot.
I feel bring back to the point of JT what he said about starting the league during the July 4th weekend. I think that was questionable because a lot of people, of course, me and other people going on vacation or pretty much spending their weekend with their family and everything, and it wasn't really ready to, play in the league at the time.
Right.
Another thing is also I feel like we didn't really advertise this league like the other seasons like before. I remember usually the league, you and Ice and everybody else would send a message, like a mass message out, and pretty much people will play, everybody will tell their friends, and everybody will sign up. I felt like this year we didn't really do that as far as the season. And then also as far as the summer, again, a lot of people's, tired out. Everybody's waiting for the new games coming out, especially everybody's waiting for Madden NFL 17 and NBA 2K17 to drop. Everybody, I got mine pre-ordered, and I'm pretty sure everybody in this party has it pre-ordered.
Absolutely.
So I mean, just basically it's summertime. A lot of people want to go out, have fun with their friends and everything, and they don't really want to sit down and play. As far as showing up for a scheduled game time, so it's understandable. The season doesn't work out this way as well, and also the fact of it being a new dynamic, a new format, being an all-star team up. All-star team up requires a lot of thinking. I feel like making two teams out of both conferences requires a lot of thinking, a lot of strategic moves, and I feel like people was not ready for that in terms of how they want to build their team, and obviously, players being taken and messing up their strategy.
Oh yeah,
that's fine.
That definitely came back to bite a lot of teams. In my opinion, that hurt a lot of teams. Realist.
Have my mic muted, my bad.
Oh, you're straight.
Yeah, but pretty much what everybody else has been saying. I think it wasn't too much of a good idea to start at the point we did, because I don't think it was more of the Monday, Tuesday. When did we start? Tuesday? We started Tuesday.
We started the day
Tuesday?
after the 4th, yeah.
Yeah, so it was Tuesday. The Tuesday, I don't think the Tuesday, Wednesday was a big deal. I think it was more of the Thursday, Friday.
Definitely
that
the
throws
Friday.
People off because
the Friday screwed a lot
Yeah,
of
definitely
people.
the Friday. Yeah, definitely the Friday, because I know that week we barely got 5 together. Luckily, one was a forfeit loss because a guy had to update his Xbox for our team, and then another we played one. I think we lost, and then we got a forfeit win from JT because I know they just didn't have anybody because it threw everybody off.
Right.
Then, like you said, it being summertime, that shit threw people off. People they want to do their own thing. They don't really want to commit to being on Xbox at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock every night. And then I think the All-Star team up threw people off too. It's different. Like Miz said, I don't think all the owners had the correct strategies. I see a lot of teams that had poor spacing on the floor. And then another thing I think that really hurt was I don't know if it was kind of tough to say if we should allow trades or not, because I think people make panic trades because of what's going wrong.
I 100% agree with that. I think a lot of people did that. They jumped too early on moving people that they shouldn't have.
So I think that's a big problem. And then the numbers are down. The numbers are down from usual. I think that hurts.
Just in general, they weren't.
Yeah, we didn't get the boost like we usually get right going into that last week. Usually we get a huge boost, and we did not get that boost of players.
Yeah, that really hurts. But yeah, everything else, it's kind of just like me. It would be just me echoing, going over and saying what everybody else said. It's just like a mixture of everything.
Yeah. Cruz, you got anything to add on top of all that?
Mute my mic.
One thing with this league that's kind of broke that I don't know if we could truly ever fix it is the buddy system. Because I'll go back to my first season with Most Wanted. He was the owner in VFL for a couple seasons, had no problems. He come over here and try to own, and nobody wants to play with him because nobody know who he was. So, we supposed to be a league where, you just kind of bid and, you hope to get what you get. But I don't think we're going to ever get there. Because, like, when we was talking about getting rid of the Warriors first, King said, like, a whole line was not going to play unless they played together. Like, if we blew up the team. And I was like, well, just blacklist them all, because I can't guarantee I'm not moving 5 people all to the same team,
Absolutely
like
not.
You as a line, and so it's too much of that. Like, if I don't get to play with these guys or this group,
I think you'll always have that to an extent. I don't think there's any way to eliminate that.
Yep.
The only
But I
thing
think
we
it
can
runs
do
deeper
is
in the
provide
EBA than it ever did in the VBA.
Yeah,
Maybe just because I wasn't as active as the VBA, but it seems it runs way deeper in this EBA than it ever did before.
It'll always be an element. It's just not something that you can change, just because that's the nature of the beast. Like, people like to play with their friends. That's just how it is. So some people are more willing to make that sacrifice to play with whoever than others. I've long been one that I'm willing to play wherever, whenever, for whomever. So, that's just the way. I guess that's just the way I am. That's the way I'm wired. So, everybody made really good points, and definitely as a website, we're going to take into effect the when dates start, and that was actually another reason on top of that. Like, if we were to, let's just say we did restart the season or something like that, it would literally put us starting the 2K17 season the week of Thanksgiving after, like, bidding and stuff was done, which would be just absolutely dumb, in my opinion. But we kind of live and we learn. Mistakes are going to be made, so we just kind of have to learn from those, grow from them, and kind of make adjustments going forward. So, for the second segment here, we'll go ahead and we'll talk a little bit about any predictions that these guys have. Definitely have. Realistically, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Really 6 teams right now. Realist and Eastern are trying to make some moves to get theirs back to where they need to be. So that would make 7. And then Leone, which shout out to Leone for making it this far. I counted you out and definitely thought you would. I thought you bowed out yesterday, but shout out to you for still at least being there and trying to put in the work where others just bailed out. So for the standings right now, we got the Lakers at 25-1, the Magic at 21-3, Clippers 16-9, Hornets and Cavs are tied at 11-13. The Nets are 10-12. T-Wolves are 10-14. And I know there's was working on some stats. He just said so. There's some of those games coming in. I know the Magic, I think, have a couple of games to put in also. But we'll start with the truth. Do you have any predictions or any thoughts on the standings so far?
Not really. I have no predictions. I'm kind of checked out at the moment. Just like on the season. That's why I'm glad I'm TC now, where I don't have to worry about playing but one game. But I will say though that people are accusing the Lakers of cheating, and I personally don't want to hear that shit if you're not gonna tell me how they're cheating so I can stop it. Because if you can't tell me what they're doing to cheat for us to stop it, then you don't care enough that they're cheating. So that's it.
That's a very good point. You know,
they're winning, man. They're cheating.
I've heard a lot of people talking about, you know, that people are cheating, this, that, and the other, whatever. Like, if you were to bring that to us and we didn't do anything about it, then you would absolutely have a leg to stand on. But if you're just going to sit there and accuse them of it without providing something for us to take care of the problem, then you're just contributing to the problem. And you're just making it worse. So, let's see who's next. Realist.
This on predictions on how the season's gonna go the rest of the way.
Well, I mean, anything, yeah. Predictions on the season standings, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, as far as the standings, I don't really see much shakeups going the rest of the season. Kind of think the way it is what it's gonna be. But when it comes to the playoffs, I still like JT and Fab's team. I still think that they got the better users when it comes down to it at the end of the day.
All right, we'll go to Miz.
Well, first off, I want to talk about us cheating. I mean, that's just that's a hit on my image. I mean, we don't cheat. I mean, I don't know what the accusations could be because we just go out there and play our games. I mean, I see us going far. I think our West line is amazing with Durant, Drummond, Durant, Draymond, and Gobert. I don't see any East team being able to outhorse us. I do think we will face either JT's team or Shump and Mama's team. But I mean, if we can secure that first round, that home court advantage, or we get to use our West line, I don't see anyone beating us personally. But I do want to hear about how we're able to cheat. I mean, that doesn't make no sense.
All right.
Yeah, apparently I'm on your payroll.
I saw that.
Yeah, and I've never spoken to I don't lose much ever, but whatever.
Ice.
Probably don't want to speak to him either.
that may be. I really think he's trying to fulfill Crow's void in the EBA. I feel like he's trying to step
being
up
the biggest
and fill
pain
that.
in the ass.
Well, no, just the one that talks the most trash. Like,
no, you got to give him credit at 25-1. I mean, he's doing something right over there. So, I mean, only lost one game so far for the season. I'm not a big fan. I don't lose much either, but I mean, considering that the first couple seasons or first 3 seasons of the EBA, he was pretty much losing all the time to now actually going with his name and not losing much is pretty impressive. But I can tell you just from playing, and this is only the games that I've played, I can't really compare with anybody else, but I consider Los Angeles and Orlando being 2 of the hardest guys that we're going to have to go headbutt with. And me saying that as a Clipper. But you also can't count these guys out. I mean, you know, Timberwolves, they got to figure this shit out because I know they got a better squad than what they're showing at 10-14, realist. But Brooklyn Nets 10-12 and Cleveland Cavaliers at 11-13. I haven't really played a whole lot of these teams. I just played 8 games in the last couple of weeks, and usually the headbutton that I'm going against is the Lakers and the Magic. We're just frustrate the hell out of us. Other than that, I mean, we haven't really ran into a whole lot of hard teams that we feel that is gonna hold us up. But like I said the other day, and then I said this again. These are all these are warm-up games. I mean, my team's going to make the playoffs. I can guarantee we're going to make the playoffs. We just ain't going to lose that much to keep us out of the playoffs. And then from there, anything can happen as Thunder proved last season. Anything can happen. So right now it's just, I mean, the best team that made it to the playoffs last season, the Cavaliers, they only lost 2 or 3 games, and then they ended up losing, in the finals in Game 7. So I'm not giving the crown to anybody at the moment. I just think that there's going to be some rough teams when you get to the end. The Clippers is going to be rough, of course, because we're there with Fab and JT, and that third line Saucin is doing work, and we just got to figure a few things out. We'll be fine. I know that playing against your team, Mags, which is Orlando. They've been a couple headaches for us. We beat them barely a couple times, and then they beat us the other night by 2 points. So, that team's not a joke either with only losing a few games. The team's just hard to play against. The talent that they have is really going to be hard for us or for anybody that goes up against them. And the Lakers, I mean, I've only got 1 game against them this week or this season, but it seems like, we struggle against them as well. So I would say those are the 3 strongest, and I'm only putting myself in there because it's my team. But anything can happen in the playoffs. But I see us giving a battle. When the playoffs come, we gotta stop letting this petty shit hold us down. Because right now we have just small things that are frustrating us, and we just all got to step it up as a player. By that time, we should have a couple more weeks under our belt to where we feel comfortable playing with who we have, and should be able to go in the playoffs strong. But I guess we'll see when we get there.
All right, JT.
Well, on the standings, I think it'll kind of be kind of how it is, I guess. In playoffs, my final 4 is Kobe's team, Beastie's team, my team, and Eastern's team. I don't see any other team taking those teams out. I think standings would kind of go the way they are. And like I said, I mean, it's like that regular season, it means nothing. It's shit. Like they're 25-1. Yeah, it's cute, but it's loose much. That cute. Bum is good now. I mean, you can miss me with that bullshit. I mean, it is what it is. It's like you can't. He's not learning from my mistakes. It's like last season, it bit me in the ass that I got 2 forfeits and my Rudy Gay quitting on me, and he's talking crazy in regular season when that means nothing. You can write this down. You can do what you want with it. If I played them, they're going home. I don't give a fuck who got to say what, why. They're going home. Their best line, in my opinion, is that Miz line, which I think I can beat. If they got to play my line, at the best, they're going 1-1 at the best. And all the other lines will get handled. Arsenal, he's whack. Majestic, he's a so-so. KD, just I'm just not worried about him. And Beastie, that's strictly, I guess, Mama and Shump. I mean, they can be strapped too. So, I mean, like I said, it's anybody's season come playoffs. But, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just some people are just, that 25-1 it's just cute. It's good for show. But in playoffs, it won't mean shit.
Yeah, the playoffs are definitely a different beast. I can't really speak too much on the other Lakers lines, but I have played Mizark's line in a lobby game one night, and he definitely plays the KD real well, so that line will be tough. We'll give whoever a good game. I don't see them getting blown out or beaten on a consistent basis. The other 2 I can't really speak on, so I really don't know. As far as us, we'll go as far as Mama and Shumper's lines, which I'm on Mama's line, and then Shumper's got Beastie and Hutch and that group. We'll go as far as those two lines will take us. If Misty and them keep playing the way they're playing, though, they can pull. They're playing a lot better than what I thought they would, to be honest. Our team's better than what I thought they would be.
Yeah, your team's doing work down there. They're doing really well, better than what I ever expected them to do.
A lot of it has
not
to do
gonna lie.
that we have a really good East team, and we have a pretty good West team also. So that helps us out a lot, honestly. Just having really good 2K players to use. The Clippers will change that 16-9 record around. They've had some adversity to deal with. That'll change. The Hornets actually have a better roster than what their record is, but I don't see them beating out. I mean, Minnesota's only one game back as it is, and I know they've dealt with some forfeits and some stuff there. So I don't see the Hornets beating them out for that fourth seed there. It's going to be a fight between the Knicks and the Warriors to see who gets in at the bottom there, but it's just the Timberwolves aren't going to stay where they're at. They'll move up once they get things straightened out. The Nets, we played them a couple times and beat them pretty bad, but it's been the same.
Who's the net? Who's the
same
defeat?
No, Cavs are defeat. Nets are Zabriel and all them. I don't. The line that we played against the Nets, we beat them pretty good. I don't think I played the Cavs, so I can't really speak much to them. We beat up on the Knicks pretty good once or twice.
The Cavs are pretty bad, but they're struggling. I know right now, I'm not gonna lie, my heart just hit the ground because Defeat hit me up and asked me, what's my availability for next week and if I can play the 3. So my whole hopes of the playoffs probably just ended.
Well, to kill any noise, I haven't thrown you on the block. You're not on the block.
So, but
I mean, because I just got the news.
Defeat was very open.
Like, yeah, we're gonna be in the playoffs. To nah, never mind.
Defeat was very open. Watching from the sidelines. He was wanting to play for fun this season. This season was for fun for him. So he was very open in that. If they competed, they competed. But he was definitely in it just for the fun of all-star team up. So. Alright guys, so we're going to move into the last segment here, just give people some time to do shout outs, but I did want to kind of bring up something that we're bringing to the site in the fall. We voted on it during our yearly meeting because we were officially open for 1 year.
Quarterly.
But we were officially open for 1 year as of July of this year. So it was our year end meeting.
Gotcha.
We voted to bring in what we're calling pro leagues. Basically, you'll use EC to buy into these leagues, and they will award cash prizes. There's no set numbers or anything like that yet, but if we were to fulfill the max number of teams that we will allow, it'll be a $1,500 prize pool as of right now. That may change, but that would be if we fulfilled the max number of teams. So we think that'll bring in a lot of new people to the website, having the cash prizes like that. This will not affect the EBA at all. The EBA will still be its own entity. It will still be a free-to-play league. That will be where you earn your EC. You won't earn any EC at all in the pro leagues. They're strictly cash prize esports based leagues, whereas the EBA is a free-to-play league where you can earn EC. That you may decide that you save up and use in the, for something in the pro leagues or spend in the shop or whatever it may be. So something different that we're doing. I know we're going to try to have a Madden 1v1 Pro League. I think that will technically be our first one, since that releases next month. I think it's the 3rd week in August. So keep an eye out for that one. Of course, 2K. That will probably be our largest draw initially, unless I know there's a lot of Madden players on this website as it is now, so Madden may be a pretty big draw also. And then I know we're probably going to gauge the Smite community, as we have a pretty good Smite following so far. And we actually are ranked, our Smite clan is ranked top 5 in the world right now. So we have not only a lot of Smite users coming to the website, but good Smite players on top of that. And then there's always the potential with hockey coming back in the fall. We're always open to getting any new league started and bringing them to the website. So with that said, we'll start at the bottom this time with Truth and work our way up. If you have any comments, or if you want to give me shout outs, or if you want to talk about anything, have at it.
First question is, do you have to pay to get into that pro league?
Yes.
Yeah,
but
it'll be EC.
You'll use EC to enter, but the payouts will be in cash.
Yes.
Alright.
So for instance, to buy a team, what's that?
Go ahead. I'll say it.
So for instance, to buy a team, there would be under the Elite Basketball Pro League, EBPL, there will be a section in the store where you can go and buy a team. And that team, what happens is that way, so you're not running around trying to collect people's money. They just go in, they buy the team. And they can either buy EC to buy it's all EC to buy the team. So for instance, let's say it's 10 gold. Nobody right now has 10 gold. So you can go in and drop, $20, get 10 gold and enter in there or buy the team with that.
Alright, good. That's a little bit better than money leagues, because I refuse to pay another motherfucker to play a game I already own.
Well, it's not really,
optional.
I think you're looking at it wrong. It's more or less, it's competitive. It's an esports, so you're actually, you can earn that just by, keep doing what you're doing as VPLO, and you can earn that EC and then go buy a team with that EC.
I'm talking about the actual
but you
money
bring
league
your
stuff.
roster. You don't do. It's a similar concept as a money league. I mean, it's competitive. It's ran like an esports instead of a illegal betting site like most of these sites are. So we can't get shut down over some bullshit. It's all legal. I have a lawyer that's already looked over everything, and the way that we're doing it is legaled out. So it's not like some of these leagues out here bring $20 and then I put it in a pod and then I pay you $500 when I get 24 teams or some bullshit like that. It's announced ahead of time. This is the teams we're looking for. This is how many. This is what the pot's going to be, and it will be tiered. I mean, of course, if and it's not a pot. It's actually a prize pool at the end. It's not like betting of any sort. But you can enter free to play by just being active on our site and playing in other leagues around our site. And being active, you can earn that without having to actually open your wallet. But most of them are going to be gold, which nobody has gold at this point. So in order to probably sign up for the first one, I mean, it's common sense. You're going to have to buy some gold. So you still got to put money towards it. But I think you're looking at it wrong. It's for the competitive people that really want to get competitive and bring their own team and say, my squad's better than your squad. And I'm going to prove it. Not only am I going to prove it, but I'm going to put prize pool. I'm going to bring my gold and put it where my mouth is and win some money. By competing. So I think it's a little different situation than what you're thinking of. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Nah, you good. Only other thing I just say is shout out to everybody in the owners group me to when I wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon and look at all the messages of somebody. It's always somebody got a problem with something. But
That is.
I just want to wake up, read the group me, and not have to figure something out. But shout out to everybody though who's sticking around, even though it's not as fun as we would hope it is.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you?
That's it.
All right, realist.
Nothing much to say.
All right, young Chuck.
As far as the pro league, like pretty much I was gonna say how much was gonna spend for gold because I didn't really listen into that part.
We haven't made the decision on that just yet. Like we don't know how much gold it's gonna cost to enter or whatnot yet. So we're still working on the details of that stuff. So we'll have a site-wide force read once we get all the stuff squared away and approved by the owners. So.
But right now you can go in and buy 1 gold coin for $5, 3 gold coins for 10, 5 gold coins for 15, 7 gold coins for 20, or 10 gold coins for 30. So whatever it is to purchase, let's say we make it 7 gold coins, that's going to be $20 US in order to, if you want to buy the coins to enter. Or you can just wait, like I said, save up and get the coins you necessary in order to enter for free. So by doing things like being owners, being staff, everything has a price that you're making EC from. So.
Right. And the second thing, I posted something on the site, and pretty much I didn't want to start any debate or anything. It's just pretty much it was just as far as just listening to the players and everything. I just wanted to comment on the post that I made. It was just for the players. Just wanted to know how everybody was feeling about the season, and basically just wanted to get feedback on how the 3 options was. I know Mizar commented on it. I know everybody else commented on it. It was just to see how everybody felt about the season. And I got an answer there. Pretty much, I feel like we should continue the season. Just my personal opinion, I didn't feel like about canceling, but I'm still down to play in the season, whatever, and I'm still excited to still play, even though I feel like some of the excitement gone away.
Yeah, I mean you're not far off there. I mean it like we were talking about earlier. There's just it always happens the last season of a 2K or the last season of a Madden. There's just less interest in general from a gaming standpoint because you played that game for 9 months already or 8 months. However long it's been. But by all means, anytime to throw threads up like that, just to get the if anything else, it gives us as site ownership an insight to how the players are viewing things, how owners are viewing things, and we're able to kind of gauge things and how we're going to do stuff in the future that way. So, I mean, from my standpoint, I don't mind it one bit.
No, I always like all the feedback we have. I mean, we build the site for the community. I'm not making no money from this thing, just so we're clear. I mean, we build it for the community. So, it's your site. So we love to hear what people are thinking. I was kind of upset that a team dropped out as well. I mean, I was there with you. I was way more excited at the beginning. I thought it would be a lot of fun running with these special teams that we're running with, and being able to play with the superstar. Because there's a lot of guys like me out there that don't get a chance to play with somebody good. But I'm with you, man, 100%. That it's a little more frustrating at this point. But if you think about it, every season there's always a team that, this season they're doing it a little different. They're like, yeah, we know this is going to be the team. They realize it ahead of time, and now they're going to, rotate that team around or whatever they're going to do with the Raptors, the cursed Raptors. But I'm with you, man. I'm glad that you're more than welcome to put up anytime. Nobody's upset about that. We love to hear the feedback. Anytime people have feedback, that's not bitching. See, that's where I'm confused with people saying it. That's not bitching. That's giving positive feedback on how you want your site that you spend time on, that you sign up to, that you play the game, you show up to 5, 6, 7 times a week. You're in a group me with these guys. That is giving good feedback, and we want to continue that and promote that as much as possible because I don't know everything, and Mag sure as hell don't know everything. So, we want... He's like, wait. No, no, we want you to continue to give as much feedback as possible. It's your guys' site. That's where the community's confused. I mean, we own it, that's fine, but we built it for... if it's not just going to be me and Mags playing 2K, I mean, just so we're clear... or me, Mags, and Blaze, and Outtaker, and somebody else playing 2K. That's not what we built it for. We built it to have a large community where, you guys can all enjoy playing on the site and help grow the site. And, I'd love it to be 20, 30 teams. It'd be fun as hell, I think. But the mindset of the players need to change, I think, in order for that to happen. And there's also need to be some advertising, and once we start making money, we'll put that into advertising. And try to get us out into some of these sites and go on 2K forums and so on and so forth and try to push, especially with the new one coming out. But anyway, yes, I appreciate you doing that as site owner.
Mitz.
I think the pro league that you guys are gonna do is a good idea. It's gonna bring in a lot of new people that. For some people, they just want to bring up the reason, like, oh yeah, there's no point to play in EBA because it's a free league. Like, what's the point of playing for free? But I mean, for me, I don't come to EBA for that. I like how it's organized. I like how, it's ran and on time because you don't have to deal with all the, the savagery, as I should say, in the other leagues. So I think it's a good idea. I mean, I will be in it if it is bring your own team. That's a no question for me, especially if it's for that much money. I think it will draw a new crowd. Other than that, I want to give a shout out to my Lakers team, 25-1. I don't lose much. He's a really stupid owner, but I'm glad he put his faith in me. And, listen to me when I said to pick up Majestic and give him Durant and, trade for Grem Squad, who's been playing great.
Now it's working.
There it is. It's back now.
Everything you just said didn't even get recorded.
What?
I heard when he was talking about Grim Squad or whatever. That was the last thing that we got.
Glorified. He said glorified. What was the
role players? Glorified
role players.
What about?
I just stand in the corner. So.
What about glorified role players?
I just said I'm not gonna let JT fire shots without getting shots fired back.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, he knows me better, so I want to see what his glorified role players can do. On Corver and Bazemore and whoever's on that.
Hey, I'm playing Corver. Yeah, I'm missing shots.
Whoever's on that West.
I gotta figure that out. That's on me. I guess he did come right at me. Okay. Glorified role players. I'm 500K player. My job is to put I'm averaging like 11 points a game right now.
That wasn't really at you, Ice, but I mean it's towards the others who think they're stars, but they haven't done anything without JT or Fab. So
it's much easier to play with guys that actually know how to share the ball. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. When I went to this team, I was like, great, I'm never gonna see the ball. JT and Fab, I'll be lucky even smell the ball as it passes by me. Like it ain't gonna happen. And not completely 180 from what I was, a complete change of what I thought. Complete opposite of what I thought I was going to be. These guys see you open. They're on you if you ain't taking the shots. Even if you're missing shots, like, don't keep shooting. I mean, these guys are way better players, and they understand what a lot of these guys don't. And I'm gonna call don't lose much, whatever the fuck his name is. I'm gonna call him out straight because I played in a few games with him when he was back competing, trying to get on a team like a couple seasons ago, and he was all, give me the ball, I'm gonna show you how it's done, give me the ball, I'm gonna show you how it's done. And he was not looking for anybody. He was a me player, and I'm like, man, I couldn't play with somebody like that. And I thought coming to this team when JT said he wanted, or when Fab said he wanted me on a team, that's what I was gonna have to deal with. It's gonna be the Fab show, and Ice is gonna be the, why can't you play defense better, Ice? But completely different than what I thought. Completely sees the court, makes everybody on the court a better player. And I'm not saying we're going to win it all, because anything can happen on the court, especially with the guys that we have surrounding. But I can say the guys that he runs with, you can say they're overhyped because they do make them better. So it's a 5-man game. It's not a 1-man game. But anyway,
no, I know that. I mean, I played with them.
Glorified role player.
And that, like I said, that was a really good towards you, and I've played with them before. But, just trying to throw some shots in there to
I know, throw some
other
shade,
people.
but we got 2 of us in here. Gang up time.
That's cool, man. Hey, John Wall.
Get him.
He on Durant in playoffs.
Nope.
It's coming, man.
Is that what you played, Durant?
Yeah, he played Durant.
I'm on Durant and Dwayne Wade.
Oh, okay.
All right, Ice, what you got?
And then I always don't say the same thing pretty much at the end of these things, that Hopefully you guys are excited about the pro leagues. If you have any ideas, shoot them our way. I mean, we're still in the development process. These next couple weeks, we're going to be laying down rules, price guides, pricing lines, and so forth. And you'll notice that whatever money we take in goes right back out to the players. We ain't one of these leagues trying to make cash off this. What we're trying to do is compete with some of these money leagues that are out there, because we are hearing the same complaints like, why would I come play for the EBA when I can't make any money? I enjoy it on the EBA. I always enjoyed leagues like this because I like the fantasy GM, build your own team mentality. And play that role because I'm a glorified role player. I'm just kidding. But I do, for those that have ideas, shoot them our way. We're always ready to listen if you have good ideas on how to make the site or anything better. I appreciate the guys in the EBA that work hard, the owners. People don't even understand the crap they put up with, the whining and crying. Every player knows something better than you. I can see it in my own chat when someone makes a trade. They're like, oh my God, I can't believe you fast. Dude, stop slitting your wrists. Just go warm up with them. Try to figure them out. But anyway, I can't imagine what the owners and the GMs put up with that they're still here and they're doing it. Same with the Truth. Appreciate you, man. The VPLO. I know you wake up every morning going, oh man, I hate this. Return of the King, all you guys doing all the work, we appreciate it. So always shout out to you guys.
All right, JT.
With the pro league, I'm with it. Like I said, my only suggestion is I kind of feel like if you do implement that, EBA will take a really huge hit, in my opinion. And I feel like y'all should just kind of put all the energy in the pro league, because like with the way EBA is ran, if you run the pro league like that, like you can become the best money league easily.
Oh, what? I'm going to be running the money league. So
yeah, but what do you mean by run the money league like that? Like what do you mean by like that? Like what?
Like I mean, it can get just so big, like the exposure, especially if you have dudes from 2K Gods promoting it. It's like that's kind of how this whole buddy thing has even came into play. It's a bunch of 2K Gods dudes want to be on the same team, like that one team on the Warriors. That's from 2K Gods. Like it's Rush, Shadow, Havoc. That's a 2K Gods crew. Like
Right.
that whole 5 won 500K. And that's why they were like buddy. But like if you have people from 2K Gods and Tri Beach League and all these other leagues joining, like that the pro league can take over as the number one, and then EBA, like I said, it'll easily take a hit, because when money's into play, that's where the best comp is. And some people play
I think
for
there's
money, some play for
difference.
comp, some play for both.
No, I agree. And I think there's difference where, I play for fun. I don't think I'm good enough to play for money. So me, EBA is where I'm going to play. So you might get where EBA maybe ends up like being a D league of some sort because it's free. But to me, it's still the fantasy style I enjoy. I like not knowing what team I'm going to go to every season when I hit bidding. I like the
Bidding is one
playing
of the funnest
the
parts
role.
of the like to me.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the awesome parts of it. Not knowing where you're going.
And not knowing what team you're going to play with and be like, oh, great, I'm here. Oh, I'm there. I mean, to me, that's fun. That's part of the fantasy role of it. But yeah, I agree with you that it could take off like crazy, and we're well aware of that. And Mags is 100% hands-on. He's going to be. That's why we needed a VPLO like Truth that can handle the EBA without having to have hands-on. Because Mags is definitely going to be. And he's gonna, from my understanding, it's gonna be very similar to like the rule set.
The rule
of the
setup
EBA,
will be the same as the EBA. We'll have the rules will be very similar. There may be only minor differences. Nothing that would really make a difference in your gameplay style. It'll be more affected towards like the penalties. If someone's breaking these rules, it may end up being a forfeit as opposed to like a replay or something, just because of the format that we may be using. So yeah, that's what I mean when I say things may be just a little different than the EBA, but the general setup and general rule set and everything will be the same.
Yeah, I mean, you'll still have your locker rooms and stuff like that. That'll still,
Yeah.
We'll still use the same league setup that used to see it. It'll just be the EBPL instead of the EBA.
Yeah, we'll have new forums for it. You'll see Fatal's working on our logos for it now, so we'll have some fresh new logos that separate, the EBA and the EBAPL. So.
But what do you mean by if it's the same? Like if it's the same setup? So you mean like have people draft and stuff like that as well?
No,
what do you mean by setup?
No.
Set it like I'm not talking about you, Mags. I'm talking about I'm not talking Mags. I'm talking to JT.
I got you.
Like, what do you mean by the same
What's your question
setup?
again?
Like, what do you mean by the same setup as the EBA?
Like, like forums, you got the shows.
Oh yeah.
Stats are kept.
Yes.
Or, well, you have to.
The one thing that I am going to do is
stats.
we're not going to do. I don't think we're going to do team stats in the money leagues. I'm still weighing that out, and I have to take that to the owners board and get that approved. But I think we're just going to do player stats. One, because of the number of games that may be played in a week that they'll need to do stat entry for, could potentially be higher than normally what it is for the EBA. So my initial thought, which like I said, this may change, but my initial thought was to just do player stats, and then we may give an award for like the MVP, which will be voted on by site ownership. Or something like that. There's a lot of stuff still in the works. Still a lot of things to drill out. And like I said, we have to take it to the board of owners before we get it all approved anyways.
So is there something else that you're thinking that it should be like you were talking? Like the time, should it be a scheduled, or you think it should be open?
I think it should
JT?
more be open. I think time is like.
Okay.
I mean, I think you could do time maybe if you allow like a 15-man roster, but I think just with a lot of people being just growing now in different jobs like first shift, second shift, third shift, it's like if you just restrict it to a time, it can be kind of tough.
As of right now, we had planned to do an open schedule. I mean that's what the plan initially is. So. Just trying to, I guess, just trying to gauge.
No,
what you were
I appreciate the. No, I was just kind of wanting to get the input. I mean, I heard him say it a couple times, like, dude, if you got the same setup, you're gonna blow everybody away.
Right.
And I don't know what he means by setup, like, and that's what we want to do. Of course, we want to make everybody playing here. We don't want you playing on 4 or 5 different sites. We want you playing here. This is the important one.
There you go.
Yeah, you can do it. But besides that, that's about it. I look forward to guarding mids and playoffs. Let's see what his glorified role player is about, like Grim Squad. But besides that, I mean, just looking forward to playoffs and a good season. I'm not really guaranteeing a ship like usual. Just go out there and play and rock out with this season, even though it's been a pretty tough one. I've been forfeiting like 3 seasons, and this season I've done it 4 times already. So. I mean, you got the ups and the downs, but stick it out.
Yeah, definitely. On my end, shout out to the guys that are sticking it out, and it's definitely not the season to get blacklisted, that's for sure. But the guys that are sitting in there and putting in the work to try to correct their teams and stuff. I mean, that's great. We appreciate the work that you're putting in.
Can I get a little bit of shout out here for a minute?
Yeah.
Shout out to E Money's dumbass for pulling that whole bid on me and get bid up and then fucking trying to ruin a whole team. Shout out for you having to wait till season 3 of the fucking NBA 2K17. Hope you're happy. Go play LGBA, you freaking loser.
You could have cursed right there.
Well,
facts.
Well, I can say this much, that the staff not ownership, but the league staff unanimously voted for him to be banned from the website, and so that may still be coming. You may be catching that elbow.
Well, and then free Eric. Why, for being a retard? Get out of here. Man, I have much more respect for that kid until he pulled that. I can't believe that.
Ice has done put me on a little rant here that I'm going to end the show on, but so there were some things that were sent to Truth that were said to be from Trainer that were extremely racist. And if anybody was around Truth when that happened, Truth was lit. He
Hold on.
Of course,
Before you go any further, I just want to say that if anybody had ever said any of that to my face, you would get fucked.
so
Like I know.
Whoa, wait, what are you fuck?
calm down, Truth.
No.
You can come out on a different
No.
episode, brother. You don't have to do that either.
No, fuck. Like, ass whip, get a bottle shoved up your ass and everything because you would never say
Okay. Just
Okay,
I mean, because
so
you would, like,
this
they
just
know
took
they
a
would
weird
never
turn.
say that to any black guy's face.
So-
Like, they would never.
shit.
Never.
So
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Talk the
Kobe
truth about
calls
this
back
shit.
my father and all that.
but
Yeah.
E-Money's the one that done those and then tried to frame Trainer for it. So, like I said, that's why
Yeah,
you
but
might
all those kids are.
be you might be catching the hell on that. I gotta talk to the rest of staff ownership, not staff, because like I said, staff.
Yeah, but can you believe anything those guys do though? I mean, they're a bunch of clowns, all of them.
I mean,
you can't take any of them seriously.
I agree. Trainer is what he is, but the fact that you would literally try to frame somebody to get in trouble, like to me that's ridiculous. Like, you need to find some other stuff to do with your time. Get a girlfriend, something. Play Pokemon Go.
Jesus.
Find Jesus. There you go. Do
Find
something.
Jesus.
Do
Find
something.
Jesus. Find
Do
Jesus.
something. But no, for real
Now, that
though.
really upset me. The fact that that he did that stuff. That's stupid.
But for real, like, I appreciate you guys that are putting in the work. I get that this season isn't the easiest at all, so we do appreciate the work that you're putting in. I know staff gets frustrated, owners get frustrated. It happens. When you have stuff, come to me and talk to me about it for real. Come to True, somebody. We would much rather you come talk to us than to just try to accuse and try to place blame, because I mean, for the most part, we're level-headed. Ice can be a dick, but it is what it is.
I can. That's why Max handles everything.
But appreciate you guys, all you guys that come on and took the time out here. I think we went for about an hour, but maybe a little bit longer. So I definitely appreciate you guys taking the time out of your nights to come talk on the show here. And that'll be it for this portion of the breakdown. Appreciate it, fellas. All right, guys. So we're going to get going with the ESL portion of the breakdown here. I've got with me staff who is with me on Team Vital. I've got the Truth JGW, who said he does at least have one question to ask us during this breakdown episode. Ice the Man, who says he is following the league, even though he does not currently play in it. He is a fellow Smite player with me, and some of our friends, we play it. And then, of course, myself on Team Vital. So just going to get started talking a little bit about how the season's gone so far. Thoughts on the website. I know staff is not only new to the website, but new to our leagues in general, but a long-time Smite player. So, what's your thoughts so far on the league, the site, and all that stuff?
Well, to start, I mean, first things first with the website. When I first joined, everything was really simple, easy to navigate. Everything was put out right in front of me, and it seems relatively easy to newcomers. So anybody that's new, that's just joining now, you should have plenty of ability to navigate your way around and find what you're looking for, and join certain groups like the ESL. And as the season goes so far, I think it's going pretty well. We've had our little rough patches and bumps here and there, but the league is keeping up with the competitiveness, and it allows for great games every week. I mean, as of right now, our team, Mag's Team Vital, is in first place, tied with Team Exodus, but every week we go out there to play, it's still very competitive, even if we're playing the team in last place. So the league seems pretty balanced, pretty well run, and I'm happy with it overall. So,
Absolutely. Truth, you want to add anything, or?
Not yet. I'll let y'all keep going, then I'll jump in.
All right. Ice?
Yeah, Team Exodus and Team Vital. You guys are Team Vital, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, so Team Exodus is Crow and those guys. Crow, it looks like, and he looks like he's doing work. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the offensive player stats, but I look at him every other day, and he's leading the league in kills, assists. I mean, he's doing work in solo position is what it looks like he plays.
Yeah, he plays solo lane, and as do I. And his stats, kill-wise, are relatively about double, I think, mine at the moment. So he is putting in a lot of work. I know he started off the season in jungle, though, and he got a decent amount of kills there. So that might be adding to it as well. But his last couple of games, he's definitely put up some pretty astronomical numbers. So,
You
know,
have to
that's good
take
for him
into
and his
account a
team.
little bit
Three games a week, right?
Four.
Four games a week.
yeah.
Well, he's got 8 games played as solo, so he must have played a little bit at jungle.
Yeah, he played some jungle, and then you have to remember too with Staff's stats, we have Shadow on our team, who is a ridiculous carry, absolutely ridiculous carry, best carry in the league by far.
Shadow, yeah, he throws maybe 130k player damage over the course of a weekend, and he'll put up about 40 kills, 30 kills a weekend. So he pretty much just rakes in everything you could possibly imagine, and we're there to clean up the rest, but he steals the show most of the time.
Well, I don't know if you guys know a whole lot about my past, but Heroes of New Earth was one of the first MOBAs created. That, along with League of Legends, were the first 2 standalone MOBAs. And looking at these stats, that's why I look at these. I actually helped create Heroes of New Earth. I was one of the developers with the team of S2 Games. 152 gold per minute. That's nuts. That stat usually can tell. I mean, if you can stay a solo lane, you can level up, of course, as much as the guy across from you, but your gold per minute is a lot higher, so he's hitting those. I don't know if they have last kills on Smite. I can't remember if they give you bonus gold for last hits, but he's solo by himself, so I imagine he's gold per minute is nuts. There's nobody even near him in those gold per minutes. At 152 gold per minute. That's crazy. 152 gold. Your shadow guy, which is a carry, is setting at 57. He's almost got 100 more gold per minute, which means he's buying items faster. He's getting his items quicker, being able to get those kills a lot faster. I mean that changes the game a ton.
To explain a little bit on that, the gold per minute in the solo lane is exponentially increased, because if you go to Shadow, he plays with a support in his lane. So that's 2 people splitting all the experience, all the gold, and everything that's incoming gets split in half. Now in the mid lane, you have the mid laner and the jungler most of the times.
Yeah.
So their stats are also split. But the solo lane is, you're by yourself. That's why it's called the solo lane. Nobody's coming over, taking your farm, taking your kills.
And I know
your
that,
XP.
but you have other guys that are soloing against him usually. Usually that solo short lane is the solo lane or mid solo.
Well, he's clearly
but you have
doing
other
a ton
guys
of
that are
damage
playing in the same game.
His assists are through the roof also.
It's nuts. That's what I'm saying. His gold per minute is insane. I don't know what he's doing, but someone better watch him because
he might have a game genie.
He's doing something. He's got something. I don't know, because his gold per minute's insane. Because you have other solo people. I just use Shadow, like you said. Yes, he should be a lot less because he's in a lane with somebody else. So I understand how MOBAs work. Of course, I helped design one. But you've got other solos that are in this league, like Twista and some other guys that are solo, mid solo here with Boo Boo Chicken. He's still beating them by 50, almost 50 more gold per minute. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Not only can he have the extra money to ward the area, so he knows if you're coming at him or around him, he can stop those. He's got the extra money to get levels so much quicker. But anyway, go ahead with what you're saying. I'm just saying, looking at the statistics I have been every day, those types of things make me go, holy shit, Crow's killing it over there. I heard he was good at the game, but I didn't know he was that good.
It's not even just Crow though. So if you look at their team stats overall, their team is pulling in almost twice as much gold as our team does per game. They have about 200,000 more player damage than us over the entire season so far. We have 186 kills over the season. They have 286. They have double our assists. They have 20 less deaths than us. It's their entire team that's putting up these numbers. It's not even just Crow.
The team is doing crazy.
But they're the same
measure
record
really
in the
well.
pack. I I think the only thing that we're beating them in at the current moment is tower damage. Or tower damage or damage taken. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to go check.
We got
but one
tower,
or the other. But
tower
everything
damage.
else, they're
We
just
got them in.
they're blowing through the competition right now, and it should be exciting this weekend because on Saturday, Team Vital plays Team Exodus, so we'll actually see
There we go.
who's who. Who's the top dog. But we'll find out soon enough.
Be a good game.
Yeah, no. For me, Smite definitely took off a lot quicker than what I thought. I'm glad that it did. We've probably brought in. I think we got close to 100 members for the Smite League, which is ridiculous for a first season league. That's really, really good. The only league to top that would have been hockey when we had it. But hockey's community's a lot larger in the team play community than what the Smite one is, at least on Xbox right now. Pleasant surprise for sure. And with talking with Crow and then guys like Staff and Shadow who have tons of connections in the Smite community and Recal, there's definitely a big ceiling with Smite. It's a game that has a lot of longevity to it, much like League of Legends, much like Heroes of New Earth and all these other games. MOBAs tend to carry long term. I know Smite's been out for over a year now? Is it over a year? Did they surpass the year mark?
Smite's been out for about 3 years now, actually. Believe it or not.
I mean,
but on the PC, on the Xbox.
On the Xbox, it's been
about a year and a little over a year.
A year and a half, something like that.
Yeah,
it's been more than a year now.
So,
but yeah.
and really, I think it's still picking up steam. Like, I don't think it's plateaued yet. So, it's really a good league. It's fun. I have a good time. I don't get to play every game, but these guys use me in the mid. Staff's on. I mean, honestly, everybody on our team's like real laid back in a game. Like we communicate good, but nobody's like.
That's not the mobile community. That's different than a real mobile community. Just so you guys are clear.
Yeah, like nobody's like, if things are going bad, we talk it out. We're not like screaming. We did have a screamer, but we don't anymore. But we
nipped that problem in the butt as soon as it came out. That was not happening. So
we've had games where we've struggled, or not necessarily struggled, but you got off to a slow start, and they talk it out, and they really helped me through Conquest. Conquest wasn't really a favorite of mine, but it's grown on me, and actually really enjoy it now. There's a lot of strategy to it. And it's definitely made me a better player.
It's great in that fact.
Yeah.
Because when you're playing with a team and you're playing in some type of competitive league, and then you have teammates that are willing to talk things out and help you through the motions, not only makes you a better player, it makes the whole entire community better.
I agree.
And that's just it's amazing to see that this league is actually keeping that, because I know a lot of MOBAs get kind of cancerous really quick.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see the different pace with this league.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so this middle portion here, second portion of the breakdown, we're going to talk about the standings and a little bit of predictions for the playoffs, which I'm not 100% sure. I know we have 10 teams. I've got the standings pulled up here with Exodus and Vital at the top at 10 and 2. And then from there on out, it's really close. There's only 4 games that separate third from last place. I know Team Vulcan, they've struggled. They actually don't really have any stats put in. They were looking for an owner. I know Team Fear just got Pure Hysteria, Toxic Hysteria. Anybody from the League Arena days? He just took over owner of Team Fear, and I know he's a very solid member of the Smite community. Has been streaming Smite here recently for quite a while, so I know it's a game that he takes very serious, and I can foresee him doing very well with the Fear team. So I'm going to guess that 6 teams make it out of the 10. It's possible that 8 do, but knowing Crow, keeping it real competitive, I think it's 6. Which right now would put Exodus, Vital, Saber, Wolfpack, Meet Your Maker, and Astronomical in a place to win. But I foresee Team Fear making a comeback. I think that Toxic will get them into the playoffs for sure. I know Bolt, Jonesy had his whole squad quit on him, which kind of sucked because I think they would have actually been very competitive also, but they kind of dipped out on him. And then Shuriken, I think, is one of the other ones that are looking for owners unless they've filled that, and I've missed it. But I do think the 2 teams to beat are the ones with the 2 best records right now, which are Exodus and Vital. We're very solid. Not only are we good with the normal people that play, but the people that fill in are also good too. Just all around as a team, from 1 through 7, we can play. Shadow's a phenomenal carry. Staff is a great solo, great solo. I haven't got to play with our new jungle. Gimbu's great for eating all the damage and letting us take the kills from around him. So, we have a good team. Exodus is clearly good. You saw Crow and Boo Boo Chicken are just dominating in all the statistical categories. So they clearly have 2 powerhouses just like we have at Vital. I think it's Wolfpack that actually took a game from us with Busta Yeah.
I believe it was actually Meet Your Maker that took a game from us.
Yeah. It was Busta Yeah playing Cabrakan, who is getting nerfed in 3.13. But
Can't wait.
The dude was probably the dirtiest Cabrakan I've ever played against. He was one-hitting me when I was playing as ISIS. He was a very good Cabrakan. I'd never seen anybody hit quite that hard with a tank.
He's broke right now anyway.
Yeah. So if we maintain the 1 and 2 seeds, I can definitely see us and Exodus meeting up for the championship. I don't see much standing in our way unless I have not seen Pure's team, Toxic, Purest area. I know he plays a lot of Smite. He's going to be good. So if his teammates are just as good, look for them to be a sleeper. So let's see. What about you, Ice?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the statistics and stuff, I know you guys are right up there in the rankings and all that wonderful things, but just looking at what those guys are doing over there, and being that it's only a couple weeks in, it's hard to call it at this point. But I mean, if I had to say the hardest team to play against, just by going purely from stats, I would have to go with the top team right now. I think it was Exodus with Crow and Boo Boo Chicken, and I think those guys are going to be very difficult to beat in any kind of a series game. In a best of 3 or whatever they decide to do. I'm not trying to give them the crown already because anything can happen in Smite. I mean, you can have a bad game. It's just the way it works. Also, it's a team game, so I mean, those that don't play together, it's going to die together. But
that's so true.
I mean, it's definitely hard to beat somebody that's making that much gold per minute, triple what most of your other teams are making, and you just can't, I mean, he's buying items that you're just getting basic items, and he's buying
He's clearly leveling up faster than other people, which is a huge advantage in Smite.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's doing, what he's hitting. Like I said, I'd love to watch someone like that play. Even Boo Boo Chicken here in the solo mid. And I don't know if he's I don't know if with the schedule, like I said, only being a couple weeks, if they've just played some, I hate to say bums, but bummier people, I guess. I don't want to call them bums, but lower level people that are just trying to get their grips, or bum hunting, I guess, is what we call it
Well,
in
I
the
guess
EBA. But
Saturday night we'll find out. I mean, if I play, I'll stream it so you can watch. But
yeah,
I
that'd
don't
be
I don't know
awesome.
what our
Definitely let
lineups
me
look
know.
like.
I
Yeah,
would love to.
I stream all of our games, so if you ever need to watch a
there you
game
go.
or whatever, you're gonna see Crow in the solo lane going up against me. So if you want to watch that
Nice.
stream, you can.
So you
more
got the
than
headache,
welcome.
Garrett. Okay, I want to see
Oh
that.
yeah,
but,
I'm taking Crow head on. Don't I've played him in a couple of games before this, and me and him go back and forth taking wins from each other. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice. Well, like I said, I definitely think that's the team to beat. I don't know how the other teams are looking. I mean, I wish those teams that are struggling can, step up and make a good push here at the end and maybe surprise some people. You never know, like I said, when a 3-game or 7-game or how many ever game series they plan on playing. I know in Smite leagues they're usually 3 when you get into a playoff system, but even at that point you've got anything can happen in those 3 games depending on how good of a start you get or
Yep.
like you just mentioned earlier, a game you guys were playing and something fell behind and it just put you behind the whole game and it was hard to return from. So anything can happen. I'd love to see it though. I really want to start doing like a shoutcasting. We used to have a guy called CBK Breaky who shoutcasted for all of our S2 games for Heroes of Newerth, and I really want to start like shoutcasting those games. I need somebody who knows a little bit more about Smite in general because, like I said, I come from a different background. But I'd love to shoutcast some of these games that look just sit and watch these guys dominate each side of it.
I know I saw spectator mode is still in the private matches, so I don't know if you have to set it up with a password, but I've never really messed with it, so I don't know if it works or what. Truth, you got anything yet? You want me to skip around you?
Okay. First question is, I heard y'all got rid of a guy. Like, is there trades? Is there drop downs? How does that work?
Yeah, so they actually have a neat system that they've implemented. Right now, only 5 people can play. However, they have 7 on a roster. All of them have a salary, so there's no true training camp. However, you are allowed to drop and pick up a player, but they are tiered based on their ranking system. So in Smite, most of the people that play in our league play ranked. Not all of them. Like I don't play ranked yet. I'm gonna mess with it and try to play around in it just because I'm competitive by nature. I think it'd be fun. So and now that I like Conquest, it gives me more of a reason to try it. So based on your ranking, you are given a salary. So right now I'm pulling it up on the website so that people can kind of see how it works. But there's a tiered system that's based on the level. So for bronze, if you pick up a bronze player, that's 500K. If they're silver, it's 1 mil, gold 2 mil, platinum 3 mil, diamond 4 mil, and if you get a grandmaster, who are usually absolutely retarded. I know we have Majorian who plays in our league, who's friends with Staff and Shadow, I think, who is a phenomenal player, and he's obviously because he's a grandmaster. They're 5 mil. If the player's unranked, then they'll judge it off the casual ELO rating. So it keeps people from being able to stack their teams. It's a very fair system, I think, to keep teams balanced while still allowing room for you to pick up a need if you need it. Does that answer pretty much what your question is?
Can you get rid of anybody like outside of the 7?
Like
you got 7, and yeah,
you have to drop somebody to pick somebody up. Yes, so that person would fall into a free agency waivers type situation. So yeah, that can happen. I would venture to say that's probably the only downside to the league. I think that actually happened to Majesty, but it's not terrible. You still get picked up by a team that may need you, but that's the first season of the league, and it's a pretty good system, I think. Smite's definitely a different animal than what we're used to, so I'm being very open-minded when I'm being approached by potential rules and ideas for this league, because such a different animal. I've never really dealt with anything quite like it.
Yeah, but we did something like that in an old EFL where they had a free agency and you can drop and pick up based on the free agency, truth. So it's very similar to that, except they have a way to rank their players.
Yeah.
So they can't. So it's really hard for someone to sneak into the league. That's unless you want to reset your whole name and everything. I mean, it's very difficult to. What you don't want to do if you're a competitive player. I mean, you just don't. You go by the name that you're playing if you're really competitive. So.
Right. That's actually something that I believe they even. Sorry. I think that's actually something that they looked into. Because in Smite, I mean, I'm sure in other places as well, they're called Smurf accounts. And if you create a Smurf account to come play, let's say Majorian, a Grandmaster, just created another account and he was putting bronze in that account and he wanted to, come in for 500K instead of 5 mil. Well, there's ways that can be tracked back to the same person that owns Majorian, and we took into account for that. We as owners and as moderators and everything, we attempt to look for things like that to make sure that it stays even and fair. So even if, somebody decides just for this league, let me make it, they do look at that. So don't, think that can be gotten away with or anything, because they do check.
Well, yeah, it's based on the. I mean, as long as the owners don't allow other owners, they're keeping themselves in check, and they're also keeping other people in check, and the staff and the people that are running it, as long as they're keeping everybody in check and making it very clear that it's less likely to happen. I mean, Smurfs are going to happen no matter where you are, but it's less likely as long as everybody's supporting that idea of not letting it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I got one more question, and then I'll let y'all go back to it. As Ice and Mags know, I'm still new to the game, but I feel like I'm getting better every time I play. But I signed up at first, but I felt like most people had their teams ready from wherever they came from, and or other people I talked to were like, well, you're kind of new at the game, and I don't mind helping you learn, but I'm trying to win, so I'm not going to, be able to pick you up.
Right.
What do y'all plan on doing to help newcomers kind of find their way on the team or able to play or ease their way in? Because I took myself out of the sign-up because it's there's no point of me even sitting in the free agency list or whatever. So what do y'all plan to do to help kind of new players get into it?
Well, I can say that a lot of that does fall on the owners. There's not a lot that the league can do to force beginning players in. Other than just pure growth will allow for or will force owners to pick up some of the players that may not have as much a skill level, just based off of the pure need for players. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all the owners are against doing that. I know staff really didn't speak to me before bidding on me. I'm sure he just picked me up because I was an active body, and I ended up fitting pretty well into what we play because I played a mid. So I kind of fit well in with the team from that aspect. I'm not a bad player at all, but mid's not my strength, I would say. But it's definitely a position that I can play well since I'm fairly strong with mages.
Then it also goes back to the owners that you place around and the community that you bring.
Sure.
I mean, if you've got owners that aren't being crazy and yelling and they're still competitive and they're just trying to teach these guys how to play, it really opens the door for a lot of new players to really experience the potential of being really good. And the ability to be able to pull somebody up and drop them back down gives you that ability to work with them and then find out, okay, this guy's just not good. It's not going to cut it. And, give you the ability to at least get that try. That's really all we want. As a new player, truth. I mean, I imagine you just want your trial and being like, can I compete with these guys or can I not? Or can somebody help me to compete? And it's not.
The only bad
I've
thing
played
with
on
it being
teams
a
where
new league
you've got
is
three horrible guys and you're still okay as long as you're not feeding.
Yeah.
And then that's really all about working
that's
together
the problem
as a team
with the
again.
newer league is the talent disparity, and staff and I have talked about this. I've talked about it with Crow and Recal. The disparity in talent is going to be huge the first season because nobody knows how good everybody is. Like,
Right.
Staff knew that Shadow was going to be good, and I think he max bidded him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, right.
So
Max bid in him as soon as I met the kid. So.
yeah, so Staff took care of that early, knowing that he was going to go for high anyways, and there's going to be teams like that in the first season, but then after that, people are going to take notice of some of the guys that went for cheap and are dominating, and just like with any of our other leagues in the past, those guys will get bid up a little bit, and people will have to pay the true price for them. And some of the guys that went for too much, they'll go for a little bit less, and so on. So I think some of that will level out as the league grows. So, but
I think another thing, just to add to that real quick, I think with the growth of the league, I know I was talking to BrEaKdOWN and Shadow, and I believe even Crow about this. I believe at a certain point, once we hit a certain number of players in the free agency and on teams, I believe they were talking about adding second lines.
Yeah.
So this would increase the amount of players that play each week. So somebody like yourself, Truth, or somebody that's just getting into it, they might not necessarily, make the first team, but there's always that second team, and we're going to have more teams growing and new teams added every season, new owners. So next season's going to be better than this one. There's going to be more opportunities for new players to play, and I feel like you're going to be able to integrate yourself over the next couple of seasons pretty easily.
And really,
that's what's up. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, honestly, like if you got stuck on a team like Staff and all them, like these guys, like I work too much to be able to practice with them, but like I'm always seeing in our group me, they're like, hey, who can practice at 7:00 tonight? Anybody available to hop on, run a couple conquests? Like legit trying to get work in, just get better and grow as a team. Build that chemistry and I've been fortunate enough that they work with my schedule, and I'm able to, I still get games in. I think I've played at least 2 games every weekend that we've had. I've been able to fit in, with the exception, I think last weekend we had Fear, who the team had split up at the time, so we ended up getting a forfeit. But that was literally the only forfeit I think we've had all season, so, or on our end, that we've received. So.
Right.
But Staff, what's your thoughts on the standings? Predictions.
As of right now in the standings, obviously Exodus and our team Vital. I think I believe what it is top 6 is what they're going to end up doing is making it to the playoffs. I'm not 100% on that, but I believe Exodus and Vital will obviously be the top two seeds, whatever happens with that. Saber has a really good team. I definitely think they're going to make it. I know a lot of people from Team Astronomical. I think they're sitting at 6 right now. They have a really strong team. Early on in the season, they had a lot of communication problems, but they're starting to pull through it. They actually even managed to grab a win off of us. So I think they're going to be a pretty strong team coming into the later stretch, and I think that's going to be pretty competitive with the rest of the league.
Oh, that's Kaya. Ain't Kaya one of Shadow's guys?
Yeah. Kaya, she was actually Rekal's friend, but then me and Kaya started playing a lot together. So me and her are pretty close friends. And Kaya is a woman. Yeah.
There we go. Look at that. Diversity.
Diversity.
We got it.
Diversity is cool. And then wow. I think you guys touched on it. Team Bolt. They were actually I think they're in 7th right now. They're 3-9. But if you go back 1 week, they were 0-8. And then IG's, it's an IG team. They had to rebuild their entire team because a lot of people quit. And with that new team, that week they went 3-1. So I think with this new team and the new build, they're going to have a pretty solid chance at running up the list, probably get until about the 5th or 6th spot. And I think they have a good chance at making the playoffs, even though last week they were in dead last. So like I said, I think it's going to be Exodus Vital. I think Saber is going to be up there. Probably Astronomical, Meet Your Maker. I'm a little cautious about Wolfpack. They have a couple forfeits for wins, so not all of that is 100% on the player skill. Mm-hmm. They have a good team. I know a couple of kids on their team. I know I believe Recal's on their team, and Recal's a really good carry. But
Anthony's
you know,
a really
their
good mid.
synergies. Yeah, yeah. They're I think their synergy is a little off. Right now they're in fourth, but I'm hoping they can keep in it. But I don't think through the second half of this season they're going to be able to pull up and stay in that position for the playoffs. But yeah, Exodus. You guys are talking a lot about Boo Boo Chicken and Crow.
Yeah.
But I think it was week 2 they picked up a new owner, Ajur Dexterity. Ajur slipped through in the bidding and went for 500K. Ajur Dexterity is an amazing jungle, and he's putting up phenomenal stats for that team. He's now the new owner of Team Exodus, but originally he went for 500K, and in my opinion, he should be easily a 4.5 mil player. He's outstanding, and
his
he's putting up
averages
just
right
as good
now
stats as Boo Boo
are
Chicken.
8 kills, 2 assists, or 2 deaths, and 14 assists per game. So
Yeah,
he's
and
got
that's
a 4
just
to 1
it's
KD.
absurd. He's doing really well this season, and I think he's kind of one of those ones that we were talking about that slipped through the bidding process. Nobody knew about him.
Yep.
Nobody picked him up, and he went for cheap, and then he ended up taking ownership. And you know, I think he's a great asset to that team along with Boo Boo and Crow. So we'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. All right, guys. So just a little last segment here. Just give everybody a moment to, if they want to give any shout outs, any comments. I'm going to go ahead and start us off. I mentioned it on the end of the EBA breakdown, but we are adding pro leagues at the fall. When the fall rolls around, we'll have those here, and basically what that is we're going to have our free-to-play leagues as they are right now, but we'll also have leagues to where you will buy in with EC, Gold EC, and we will pay out cash prizes. So these will be in addition to our free-to-play leagues. I think it brings a little bit of extra excitement to the league. Also some competitiveness and that esports, kind of concept and feel to the game. And I really think people will like it. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, as usual, and Ice mentioned this earlier. We kind of always give a shout out to the owners and staff, but they really do deserve it. All the owners and staff and people that have recruited to make the league work. We appreciate it because without you guys, that obviously wouldn't happen. So definitely appreciate all the work that you guys are putting in. And with that, I'll give it to Ice.
Well, I'm just going to echo the same thing you've echoed. I mean, I was really excited to see the Smite League up. I was one of those guys that signed up, and then I pulled my name only because I seen it growing nice and big, and I thought, man, I just probably don't have the time to put into practice and what it's going to take to be on a team. So, but I'm really excited that the Smite League is growing and doing well. For all the guys that are recruiting for elite team play, I really appreciate the hard work that you're recruiting and getting guys. Anything we can do, if you come up with ideas or suggestions, we don't think you're a whiny little bitch, please bring them to us. We love to hear them. You can PM me anytime or PM Mags anytime, and if you see something that you feel is not right, we're more than happy to do what we can. Keep in mind the website is still under construction. It has been for the past year since we've opened. We want to bring better, bigger features. Smite is a league we care about. It's close to my heart personally as one of the original MOBA standalone game guys. So I want to see Smite take off. So I appreciate all the guys, like I said, to echo Mags a little bit. Appreciate the Crow, his staff. Appreciate the guys, like staff here. Also the owners and the other guys that are trying to push. The guys that are just stepping up. I heard there's a couple teams drop and there's owners just replace them quickly. That's nice to see. That means that there's people that want to see this league succeed, which is really good. So definitely shout out to all those guys. And again, we're always here to bend an ear. We'll be creating Smite Pro Leagues, which is very similar to the stuff we used to do, or stuff I used to do back in the old days with creating almost like an esports atmosphere, bring your own team roster type of mentality. So we're looking forward to doing things like that moving forward to help the site stay active and be active. So any ideas, bring them to me, and we appreciate all the time and effort you guys are putting in to make this Smite League take off.
All right. Truth, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I'm glad to see the Smite League succeeding a little bit. Like I said, I'm still new, but I do want to get into it a little bit more. So I'm glad it's doing well, and I might hop in, within the next season or two. So appreciate everybody that made that happen.
All right, and we'll end with you, Staff.
Yeah, I just a couple things actually. I just want to give a quick shout out to Elite Team Play Clan on Smite. This clan was actually started with Shadow and myself and a couple other people from the Elite Team Play website. Originally it was named Adrenaline, but we just switched over to the name to Elite Team Play to represent the website. We're currently 4th in the world in clan size and clan ranking. So anybody from the website, anybody just joining, if you're looking for people to play with, please join Elite Team Play Clan on Smite. It's right in the clan section. Go down the list. We're 4th spot. We have about 480 members in our clan at the moment. So if you're looking for somebody to play with and you're looking to party up, learn a little more about Smite, join the clan, invite a couple of people. There's a bunch of people to play with. Also, one other thing, this weekend, it's at least a big weekend for us in the Smite League. For the top 2 teams are playing each other. If you guys want to come out, support the teams or whatever, come watch my my Twitch, XL_staff_LX. It's just my username. Just come out and watch, support everybody, and yeah, that's it.
All right, guys, appreciate it.